I made more money after 2008 than ever in my whole entire life. You're counting on the government to take care of you? I mean, wake up. This is the best time of all, but it's also the most dangerous. The last crash in 2008, I was on Wolf Blitzer's program 6 months before Lehman Brothers went down, and I said Lehman was going down. And nobody listened, but it went down. And so I've been expecting this market to go down for quite a while. And I'm concerned about my fellow human beings. But as you know, most Americans are clueless. They don't know what's going on. I'm afraid at the worst, I hope I'm wrong, but I think we're heading for a global depression.
Global depression?
Yeah.
What does that look like?
Depression. I mean, people are depressed. The economy stays down. It's hard to come back up. I think as an adult, you can go hungry, but you don't want to see your kids go hungry. And that's what's going to happen.
You think it's going to get that bad?
Yeah. And now the good news is that for those who are prepared for it, like you and things like this, you'll do better. See, not everybody dies in a plane crash. Some plane crashes. I make more money in crashes than I do when they go up. So, but for the average person, they'll get wiped out. The best time to start a business is right after a crash. I made more money after 2008 than ever in my whole entire life because everybody was hiding like little cockroaches.
Wow, you made more money after 2008 than your entire life.
Yeah, all the bargains that are going to be on the street, I mean, it's going to be bargains everywhere. But everybody else, oh, you're pessimistic. No, I'm actually optimistic. And I was talking to my friends there, they said, oh, we love Trump, we love Trump. Stock market's at an all-time high. And I said, yeah, but so is our debt all-time high. See, they watch the stock market, they don't watch the debt. When I wrote Rich Dad, Poor Dad almost 25 years ago, people said I didn't know what I was talking about. I said savers would be losers. Now, today there's quantitative easing, which is counterfeiting money. And then you have zero interest rates. And people are still saving money. Are you nuts? They just printed, I think, $500 billion in September of this year because the repo market is going down. And the average guy goes, well, what's the repo market? They don't know. So that's why it's fake money, fake teachers, fake assets. Our education system, it has been my rant forever. Another thing they should know is the bigger something gets, i.e. our banks, the more fragile.
So the too big to fail companies are
more fragile.
More fragile.
And the companies that will survive are like our companies because we're small.
Nimble.
Yeah.
Make quick adjustments, quick moves.
The bigger they are, the harder they fall, right? So just know that those who are in big companies who think they're safe might be at the most at risk. If you're working for Bank of America or Wells Fargo, you might be at risk.
So you would position yourself more with startups than the bigger companies.
Small company.
Incredible advice, by the way.
So you don't buy gold coins to make money. You buy gold coins because the dollar is going to go down. So I don't trust the dollar.
Anytime Buffett says, I remember when Buffett says, he bought $35 million of silver. I don't know if you remember that when he bought it. You're like, okay, be prepared because something's about to happen.
Yep.
Right? If he buys gold, just be ready in the next 6, 12, 24 months. He's anticipating some kind of a crash to be taking place. He's right now in cash because
that's smart.
Yeah, he's anticipating something to happen to buy up businesses and rebuild them. He does that all the time.
And then he's going to go in after the crash.
He's going to go after the crash.